All right, guys, so I have a lot of other things that are more important to do on this, but I want to try to just color match this area right here. I want to see if I can do it, because if I can do this side, then I know I can do all up in there that I fixed, and then the whole front end here. So what I got from work, I got 8 ounces of sprayable green. Now, in our computer system at work, I can look up 1947 Ford, and it'll show me all the colors from 1974 or 1947. And there was one green, only one green, and it's called Glade Green. Yeah, so it's Glade Green. So I mixed up about 20 bucks worth sprayable. So that's the color. And I stopped and I picked up some epoxy, or not epoxy primer, but red oxide primer. I picked up 2. Two different colors. So we should be pretty good. Like this would be the darker, and then this would be like the lighter. So it's gonna kind of be in stages here. But, and I also got a color, it's a watercolor. Basically, here you are. Basically for like airbrushing. I do have an airbrush. I very rarely use it. Actually, I haven't used it since I bought it like 5 years ago. And that was basically just to do some body art, right? But it's a Iwata. It's made for automotive stuff. I mean, I've done some flames or whatever with it. I'll throw in a couple pictures here of what I did. So that's my extent of airbrushing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of this colors and stuff, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll let that set up. This I've just sanded with 80 grit, just basically just to key it up a little bit. And I have one of these, I brought it home from work. I have my little 3-inch orbital sander. But anyway, so I'm going to put these on a shaker, and then I'm going to start working on that. So hopefully that's the before, and then we'll show you the after and the process as I go. So let me put this, I got one of those things that you put on a Sawzall and shakes it up. So let me do that real quick with these two, and then we'll be back. Okay guys, so the whole purpose of this truck is not to restore it to 100%. The whole purpose is to just get it going and just kind of bomb around in it, right? And I think that this is going to be perfect for that. I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I never drive stuff. I build them, and then it sits here, and I never drive them. So I end up selling them before I even put more than 50 miles on them. I mean, it's just like that one, just like that Volkswagen over there. I don't ever drive it. I don't drive it because it needs shifter bushings and stuff like that. So there's stuff that it needs, but I feel that even if I were to fix the shifter bushings, I probably wouldn't drive it. There's no AC in it. I don't know. Maybe it's like I don't want to get stranded on the side of the road kind of deal. Even though I have AAA and all that stuff, they could tow it home. I don't know. So this one, I just want to drive it. Like I really want to drive this. And I know the motor is straight due to Mike working on it. So that already knocks out 90% of my issues of driving stuff. So that's a little secret on me, on what I do. I enjoy building them. But as far as driving them, I don't know. But I think, actually I think I want to drive this one. So anyway, so we're going to let this sit up a little bit. It's already kind of doing what I want it to do, like that. I'll probably sand up the front over here a little bit better, because that is 80 grit already. Go into the fenders. I want to see if I can blend out the fenders a little bit there. These little guys right here, I don't want them black, so I'm going to kind of paint them when I paint everything else, so it all kind of looks good. So I'm going to do the same treatment over there as I did on the door. So on these fenders, I just sanded to about here, because I just want to see if I can do it. If I can get this to go really well here, then I'll know what to finish with the rest of it. And yeah, there are some holes through here and stuff like that, but it just kind of fits the overall look of the truck. Now, some people may say, oh, you're just getting lazy, you know, you don't want to, you know, I can do all this stuff. You've seen it on the 442. And honestly, that's not what this is. You know, if I started off with a body that was like, not perfect, but very little rust and stuff, okay, I got you. That may happen. But with this, you know, I'm definitely not knocking this. I hope I don't lose subscribers. If you guys were thinking I was gonna, you know, totally restore this thing, like, you know, shiny paint and all that stuff. No, not gonna happen on this one. All right, so I'm gonna let that set up. And then I'm going to come in, probably scuff it a little bit with Scotch-Brite pad, and then go from there. Yep. We'll be back. So I went ahead and finished sanding the fender and said, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to do it. So I'm just doing it. So I'm going to take some Scotch-Brite, just some red Scotch-Brite, and I'm going to start sanding up into this area right here. So it'll transition, so the paint will have, the automotive paint will have something a little bit better to kick onto. And then I'm just going to kind of Scotch-Brite this, just to kind of knock it down a little. So honestly, guys, I'm experimenting with this. So you and I get to experiment together. So we'll see how this looks. If it doesn't look good, I can always sand it back off and start again, right? That's what's so great about this. So great. You know? You don't like it, you just sand it off. It's like metal. You know, you don't like something, you just cut it off. And you redo it. It's okay. So obviously this fender I haven't done anything to, because I still have to finish the back side, you know, the little extension guy. But this gives me an idea what colors, stuff like that. This is a large area. You know? All right, let me get after this. So I did bring home one of my paint guns. Now, this is just a Black Widow from Harbor Freight. The HTE 1.3 tip. This is nothing special. So this is like a $200 gun. I mean, I do have my SATAs, which are a lot more expensive. But you know, this one I use the crap out of work. Like anytime I'm basing anything, it doesn't matter. Silvers, tri-stages, or whatever. You know, you don't need to be that guy that has the, you know, Well, I'll tell you, like $1,200 paint gun, because I got a couple of those too. But then I decided to give one of these a whirl, and you know what? I love this thing. Like, I love this thing. I do have to change out the end though, because we run high flows at work, and here I don't have a high flow. So let me swap this out real quick. Actually, I just made an adapter. There we go. Okay. So if this works out, this is going to be great. Now I know obviously this color, even though it's 1947 green, it's going to be brighter, right? Oh, a dauber got me. There we go. It's actually a pretty good match. So I've got a fan in here that's blowing it out that way. So normally you would wear a respirator and all that stuff. So just don't do what I do. Just, you know, wear the respirator, all that stuff. You can actually dial it in as well to shoot it more pointy. If you look at my 3100 truck, you'll see the entire patina matching or paint job that I did on that, and I ended up turning it down. So you can actually make your fan tight. You can pinpoint it, yeah. So I'm going to do that to kind of all right, guys. So I know that looks really dark compared to all up in here, right? So what I did was I just took some rubbing compound. I took some rubbing compound and I buffed this section. So when you look here to there, it's the same green. So I lucked out there. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take a red Scotch-Brite and some water and just start. I started right there. So, and I forgot I turned on the camera, so I turned it back on. But as you can see, I've done this area just with the Scotch-Brite. Now this is the original paint, right? I blew a little bit up to about here, just so I could kind of blend it in. I think this is gonna work, guys. And like I said, we're just trying this together, right? So let me bring you in here. Now, let me tell you the main reason why I'm doing this right now. Even though I got the other side I got to repair and all that stuff, because I still have to build a bed for this. So that bed is going to be brand new metal. So I have to figure out how I'm going to match it, right, to the original paint that's already here. So that's why I'm trying this right now, so I can get my supplies ready, whatever. I mean, I don't think 8 ounces of sprayable green paint and a can each of that epoxy or the oxide primer stuff is gonna do it. So if I can get this to work how I think it's gonna work, I'll be farther ahead when I do the bed. So right here I didn't sand yet with the Scotch-Brite, but all this I did. So you can see how much brighter it is from here to here. So let me just scrub with my red Scotch-Brite, and then we'll time lapse it. I don't think I'm going to go anything aggressive like sandpaper. I'm just going to do it this way. This is gonna work, guys. I know it doesn't look like much right now. Maybe I'll grab a little 800. Let's let that dry up for a minute and then we'll come back and take a peek. Okay guys, sorry about the fan. This is really hot. I'm trying to move the air, but I am not mad at that. Like honestly, and I have an idea of getting like all these lines back basically from that line down to try to like move that. But up here in this area, I'm just gonna sand that, wet sand that with some 800 real quick, just to kind of brighten it up, so it will match all that, right? The front end right through here looks a little, dark still. Basically right through there. So I'm just gonna try to lighten that up, but right now I'm just gonna hit this with a little bit of water, 800 on my Scotch-Brite, just to see basically to see if we can brighten this up. I know on my GMC, the orange, when I sanded down the hood with 320, it just brightened up that orange. It took all the oxidation off. It was awesome. But that one I ended up pretty much painting almost all of it but the hood with that brush technique. If you go back to one of those videos, you'll see it. It's listed like how to paint patina on my GMC or something. But yeah. That looks pretty good. Just sanding this with 800 and wet just kind of takes a little bit of the oxidation off and brings it back, right? So, yep. All right, so I have to run and get a smaller spray bottle for this next step that I want to do, because I don't have a, you can get this stuff in a you know, like a bigger bottle, but I just bought a small bottle just to give this a whirl, right? So I think this is going to work. It's water-based. You can put water-based over automotive. You just, at least with painting, you can't put urethane type over water-based, if that makes sense. But you can put water-based over urethane. So like I said, I gotta go get some bottles, and then we'll be back. Well, all right, guys, so I decided to go ahead and fix the door over there and the jamb and all that stuff. So because now that I've painted this fender over here and got it all blended out, I really like it. So now I want to do the other side. So that's going to wrap it up for today. And then maybe tomorrow we'll finish up the paint stuff. And yeah, it's going to look awesome. See you tomorrow. What up, guys? So I was doing a little bit of research, and I found, actually I'll put a picture in right here. So if you notice, the grills and stuff, and this was a like a off-white, right? I'm thinking, how I'm looking at it, it looks like it was painted white, and then they went green over that, right? But really, I want the grills. So I popped the grills out. So I did, when I ran and got a couple spray bottles, I did stop and pick up, I picked up some heirloom white. So it's an off-white. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a little, I've already scuffed these down just with some red Scotch-Brite, like that. I just kind of scuffed them down to knock down the roughness of them all. And then the centerpiece right here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of put some of that red primer stuff down on here and here, and then paint it the heirloom white, and then come back and just kind of sand them up a little bit, just to make them look a little better, look a little offset. But this was white before, and then it looks like it was painted, yeah, and then painted green over that. So I want to do this real quick, and plus I want to paint the bottom here, and then the bottom of the right inside there. Yeah, so I'm going to give this a whirl here and see how it looks. I'm hoping it'll look okay. I got to tape off the lower part and the upper part, just so it's so it stays. Yeah, I think it'll look pretty good. I mean, it's already getting brightened up just by me doing that. Yep. Okay, guys, so I'm going to get after this, and then we will be back. I don't know, I think that's pretty good. All right, I'm going to pop these grills in and we'll see how she looks. Oh yeah, that's way more better. Especially down here where I got the green up onto here. A little better. This, obviously it's still darker on this side because I haven't done anything over there. But over here, yeah, I think that'll be good. Considering, well, now that the grill's all looking primo, let's start sanding on that fender. We'll get that side all taken care of as far as sanding and Scotch-Briting. I'm going to use 180 on the fender itself, and then I'm going to do like I did over here, just Scotch-Brite it up into the panel here, up like here. I think I'm going to actually kind of tape this off right here on both sides so I can blow a little color up. I don't really like, I mean, I don't mind it, I guess, but I think there should be some more color up, I think. But we shall see. So let's get sanding with some 180. Okay guys, so we got primer laid down. Let me show you what I did over on back on the passenger side, and then I'll show you around the other side. So what I did was I actually just right after I finished sanding that fender over there, I decided to weld in a plate right there for it used to be the gas filler. I was like, you know what, might as well do it while I'm here. I don't. So down here, right here, I'm not gonna mess with this. It's solid-ish. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna leave it. I popped the side skirts back on so I could get a better match, like with the run stuff. I did prime around the door handles, might as well do that right here. And then I decided that I wanted this green as well. So I did that there, right there. And then on this side, you know, the normal stuff that I did before, the bottom of the door, and then over here, I am leaving that little hole. Oh, and by the way, guys, always put drain holes in the bottom because the water will set inside here and that'll just rot this out. And when you open and shut the door, it'll slosh around. So always drill. I drill like three, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 3/8 size holes, just so it would run out. But yeah, same on this side. This is solid-ish, like it's not going to fall off. So I did that. In through here, I put seam sealer up underneath there. This doesn't actually go inside the cab. It doesn't go inside the cab till about, I don't know, about here-ish. So we're good. But I did all that as well. So yeah. Oh, this door handle right here, or where the jam was, I will be taking these out and cleaning them. The thing is I can't get the latch out, so I'm just going to have to come in here and just kind of clean that up a little bit. And then over here. Oh, also, while we're in the door, there it is. There's the final assembly. Well, not final assembly, but there is the transition for the 47 through 54 GMC trucks, GM Chevys. So what I did have to do is I had to move my attachment point down about a half inch to make the full sweep here. I don't have, hold on a second, let me close this. I can't do it, well, maybe I can. Okay, yep, so there it is. So, and the thing is that this has a return back, right? So one way, that would lock it originally all the way up, right? But that's not what I'm doing. So what it is I'll show you. And then when I let go, boink, it goes right back up. So this is totally independent, just like it was before, right? So on the outside, if you look, I can move that. It doesn't affect that. Let me lock that again. There we go. I've got the actual striker out, so that's why I can't shut it. But that way, and then, oh, it goes down like that, and then, boop, just like that, and it springs right back up. So I wanted to show you that. Obviously, once I get this all finished up, I will make those a lot better. But you see that those door handles, interior door handles, do work perfectly as they should, as I had hoped they would. Okay, so I'm gonna let this, I'm gonna let all this stuff set up. And oh, and I did mask off these, the cool grill looking stuff, just so I can kind of blow color up a little bit. I don't know, I feel like it should have color up more. So I'm just gonna do that. I'll probably sand half of it off, but at least I'll have it a little better than what's here already. It seems a little like harsh considering this side. But yeah. Okay. We'll be back when it's time to throw down some green. Okay, here we go. Again, make sure you wear your mask. I've got the fan blowing. Probably all the overspray on my truck, but that's okay. Okay, that's it. It's really interesting because the interior is like a blue. So I'm gonna probably, after I get done with the green or whatever, I'm gonna have to come back with the blue and just kind of like fade out the blue, a blue color. But yeah, so we'll let that set up. All right, guys, so it's hard to get the camera over on that side, but I'm going to finish up that fender right there and finish up the door, and yeah, we'll bring it back. But I did this side, meaning back here. Yeah, like right there. Can't you see it? Hold on, let me swing you around. So here you can see how far I sanded back right there. Now this was all Scotch-Brite. Right there, right? And then right there is the gas filler door used to be. Right there. You could probably see it a little bit. And then there's the inside door jamb now. All the way down. And then through here. But this is what I was talking about. See, the interior is blue. But if you go up here, it's blue, but green was painted over it. Oh, and there's the door handle right there, and then all this that I replaced through here. So probably, oh, and then I sanded that a little bit down through there, and then, well, I'll get into that when I get to that. So I may have to back tape these doors and just do them like, try to figure out this blue color, and then, yeah, go from there. So let me sand, and we'll be back. All right, guys, so as you can see, especially on the floor, you see how I'm kind of making it all kind of yellowish and just rusty looking, right? So of course I'm not going to take credit for this. This is a guy, famous airbrush guy. I think he did like welder up trucks, and I mean, he's like massively known, right? So I think Derek Dieter, maybe? But anyway, actually I'll put it right there so you can just look at that. So what it is he uses Wicked Colors, and this one is W074 Detail Burnt Sienna. Now I ordered 3 of these. These are just 2-ounce little deals. I only got 1. So I'm trying to make the 1 work, right? It does use a reducer. It's 4 zeros. Oh, this says, yeah, 400. Let's start again. So 4011 or 4021 reducer. So he mixes it with water. So he does like, he doesn't give you exact measurements, but as he's showing you how to do this stuff. But he does give you like a spray bottle. It looks like it's 1-to-1. So 1 part of this to 1 part of water, right? And then when you first put it on, it really doesn't look like it's doing anything because it's very translucent. He does them on a teal, like a teal door that he's painting, showing you how to do this, and a yellow door. But as you let it sit here and dry, you can see all the amazingness that it does, right? So I put some here to kind of run down all through there, and of course down, and then down the front. And it really does yellow up stuff. And then I put some back here, and then off this guy to drip down onto the rock, onto the skirt. But you can see that really just does it, right? It's very, like I said, it's very translucent. I'll do a little bit right here and kind of show you how it works, but you really have to let it dry, because as you're doing it, it really doesn't look good at all. I mean, it looks really bad. But then over on this side is very hard to tell, but I did it over here as well. So maybe if we get a chance, we can pull it out in the sun later, but you kind of get the idea of what it is from the other side, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, it does put some material on the floor, right? So yeah. Let me bring it up here. So he does it 2 ways. I'm going to do it the way that I think works for me. So you just kind of spray it on. Where you think it's going to be. Right? Like that. And then you just take your water. Not a lot, just a little. Just enough to fan it out. Right? Like that. Because if you use too much water, it'll just run right off the vehicle. And this is water-based, so the more you put water on it, the more it'll actually wash out the colors underneath. And yeah, it's not what you really want. That's good. That'll be good. Because you want those lines, right? Just like over the years, the rain has just brought it all down on you, right? I really like how it looks when you actually give it time to dry. It really just like darkens it up and yellows it up. So what we'll do is we'll wait for a little bit. Once that dries up, you can already see it, like how awesome it looks. So I'm probably going to do a couple more spots, and yeah, and then we'll bring it back. So this is just 800. I didn't want to use thinner on it because it may take off some of the stuff that I didn't want it to take off. Scotch-Brite works a little better. I like it. Well, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but that looks really, really good. So let me swap you around and we'll walk around it real quick. I wanted to pull it out, but it's like raining, like it's sprinkling. It's typical Florida stuff. But anyway, so hold on here, let me swap it around. All right, guys, so we'll start in the back. So you can see, I mean, obviously the bed will go here somewhere, but I sprayed a little up there, and as you probably can't see, but right there's where the old gas lid door was, or the gas thingy was, but all the way down, and then it dripped down onto that. Yep. But I'll pull it in. So you see all that really cool effect. And then that grill, that just, and filling in these two with more green, perfect. Perfect. And this side is really hard to see because it's dark. But you get the idea. From the other side, I guess. And that sun is blaring. Ish. That's the thing. Like, look, doesn't look like it's gonna rain, but the clouds way up in there, not having it. But anyway, all that's done all up and through there, all through there. There, this side is pretty pointless to show you because it's so dark. But there, I ran it all the way down there. And then we're back here. And this part right here is still, it's still damp, so it's not quite dry. But I think that's awesome. All right, let's talk about this. I had to bring it out, no microphone, so let's walk around it. So there it is. As you can see, this is why I need more of this burnt sienna, because you can see that I didn't do around the door. So I have to do all this upper part and then more through here. Yep. That's why you got to pull them outside to take a look. But that's definitely a good start. Yep. Pretty quiet inside, now that we have that baby. Belt though. Let's talk about it. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up this weekend. We got a ton done, more than what I thought I was gonna get done. What started out is just trying to patina match this bottom right here, ended up being the whole truck. So when we pulled it out in the sun, we'll talk about this for a minute. So when we pulled it outside, obviously natural lighting is a lot better than garage lighting. I could see, you could see where it needed more of this stuff just to kind of yellow this out a little bit. So I am getting more. So we'll do that. More up here to try to even that all out, right? Like that. Probably up along here. But overall, I think this is awesome, right? She fired right up. That belt squealing, I don't know about that. Mike was saying that he thinks it's because when I painted the pulleys, right, the pulleys themselves have paint in them. And since I don't like fire this up like every day and drive it for like 20 miles or something, that the pulley has, the belt slipping on the paint. Okay, that's no big deal. But she fired right up. She stopped again. Man, I don't know. That's a great weekend. So again, guys, I am going to get a couple more. I'm probably going to order 3 more bottles again. Hopefully I'll get all 3 this time, or I'm just going to try to find a big bottle, right? They have one that's like, I think 12 ounces versus those little 2-ounce ones. And then I'm going to go get the airbrush out again and then start showing you how to put in like a little detail work on some of those areas. If you're interested, let me know in the comments if you're interested in wanting to see that. And what I'll do is I'll kind of this photo I'm about to put in here was the inspiration of doing this. So I'm going to put that here. And that's everything missing the door logo. I think, well, that and I have VW fenders. But yeah. So again, guys, thanks for coming out here and watching me throw a little paint around. And hey, go out and build something cool. One weekend at a time, guys. Bye.